Alright guys, welcome to the channel, and there's just one or two things that I want to get out of the way before I even start this video. And number one is, I just got done going live and said a few of these things, so if you've already seen it, I'm sorry. Let's do it again, fast forward, whatever. But first thing I want to say is, most of you should be aware, if you watch my channel, that I have a giveaway going where I have offered for people to send me stuff to the P.O. box that's on the screen right now, where all the packages will be open live on the channel, and we as a channel will figure out which the best one is, and I'm going to give them $50. And I had some people saying that I'm losing subscribers because I'm asking people for things. That is in no way, shape, or form what I was trying to do. I'm not trying to ask you to send me stuff for free. I'm trying to interact with my subscribers one-on-one personally. That is the whole reason for it, and to get people to interact with the P.O. box that I have for the channel. Not for any personal gain. That has never crossed my mind. I never even looked at it like that. That was not my intention from the jump, and I'm sorry if you feel that way. And the second thing is the shirts. The first link in the description. They are shirts. They're very simple. They're Gildan. They're dry fit shirts. They are so comfortable. Go pick you some up. And I'm not putting any money from these shirts in my pocket. I have a lot of awesome ideas for shirts, and I'm going to fund that project with the profit of these. I'm making about $1 a shirt. It's not like I'm making a killing, but you know, you can't find a blank shirt that is that quality for what you're paying for this shirt, and maybe it'll help me in the process, you know, fund a little project that I want to try. So that's where I'm going with that. But with all that garbage being behind us, let's talk about the last list race of season 11 on Street Outlaws, and let's kick it off right now. Alright, let's start this off. I'm going to start it off backwards. I'm going to start with Chief and Dave. And I would have put all my money riding with Dave. I thought Dave had it in the bag. Dave's car is the faster car right now. I do truly believe that. And if you follow a lot of these guys on their social media accounts, if you know where to look, know how to look, and read the comments, I guess a certain way, you can find out information before it actually happens. And Chief kind of trolled us. He put a post on there about the race that went on between him and Dave tonight, and he actually put the race on there. It was standing from the starting line, and you couldn't tell who won. But if you rolled through the comments, if you picked them out and found the ones that he replied to, you would think that Dave won by the way he worded his replies to these people's comments. But I thought that Dave was going to go out number one this whole time, but he doesn't. And at Bristol or Outlaw Armageddon one, I think it was Outlaw Armageddon, Dave had the crown sitting in the Goliath. So either there's more than one crown, or the beginning of season 12 he takes it back. I don't know which is which, but either way, right now in real life, Daddy Dave is number one. I want to break down a little bit more about why Chief let Ryan go ahead and race Dave last week. And that was a big question with a lot of people, and I had to sit and think about it to come up with why. The reason that Chuck let Ryan go ahead and race him was to ensure that one of them two had to race Dave that night. If they would have let it keep going, they wouldn't have had to race till the next night, which might have benefited them more in the long run by them two racing. And even if they didn't make Dave race, that would have locked it up until the end of the season. With all the games that have been played, you never really know what's going to happen, but that's the reason they done it, where they could go ahead and get one of the cars in between Chief and Dave, and it didn't work out for them. Apparently Ryan had some wore out tires. I think it was more of a tuning issue, but apparently Ryan had some wore out tires, and that's what caused him to smoke them. That's what the show said, so we got to believe that. The next thing I want to talk about is Dominator, and for the season as a whole, Dominator has to be the VIP. Dominator held on to the top 5 the majority of the season, and then once he gave Chuck his spot, which doesn't make any sense at all, because when he gave it to Chuck, Chuck couldn't advance, so there wasn't any reason in giving it to him to begin with. But he did, and that caused him to drop out of the top 5, and it seemed like he never got a grip on the car after that. Tonight was the first time I've seen him have, staging issues all season, and I hated to see it. I like Joe. I feel like Joe and Kamikaze is the 2 favorites for everybody on the show, and I really hope that I would see Joe move up the list a little more than what he did. But when you go back and think about it, yeah, he held on to the top 5 most of the season, but he never really raced anybody other than Lutz. Back and forth, and I don't think Lutz right now has a top 5 car. And with them 2 just racing each other, it just locked the list up, and neither one of them could advance or fall down because all they done was race each other. Locked it up, and when they got separated, each of them started falling in where they fit in. Simple as that. Speaking of Lutz, beautiful car, one of the best looking cars on the show by far. Fast, I'm not taking anything from him. Drag Week King, a legend in racing, no prep racing, street racing, has a Wally, is one of the most respected guys on the show, and ever since he wrecked the car a couple of weeks ago, the car has not been right. Between electronic, wiring, engine, chassis, all kind of problems has prevented him from doing anything other than falling down on the list, and I don't know what is bent or whatever under there that he hasn't found, because this man builds race cars for a living. I would think that he would have found what was wrong with the car before now. I'm willing to say it's going to be something that is not chassis related, but who really knows other than him or his group. But the problem with the car has to lie deep inside the wiring, engine, or a combination of both. I don't think that it is anything to do with the chassis, but I really want to see him get the car back right, and I want to see what that car is truly capable of on the streets. Ever so often he'll have a blistering pass, but it's a 1 in 5 chance, and I think that him as a driver is better than that, and I'm ready to see that shine. The next one I want to talk about is one of the most controversial guys on the show, and that is Doc. You either love him or hate him, you like the car or don't like him or don't like the car, or whatever the case might be. You can't take away from the fact of the end of the season, he was making leaps and bounds up the list, and he almost has you convinced or proved to you that you can still run a nitrous car at the level of what they are running. It doesn't say how much money he's spending to do it, but you can still run a nitrous car and be competitive at that level of commitment, at that level of having to race every week and keep your car together and be able to fund the project of keeping the car together every week after week, making passes, and keep it together. He has somehow figured out a way to do it and finally got the car going straight and off of the curbs, and he was making some leaps and bounds toward the end of the season. Props to him, proud of him. I have no problem with Doc. He is somebody that is OG and is down to race anytime, anywhere, and I would just as soon see him in one of the top positions as I had anyone for that simple fact. I don't think there is anyone else on the show that the list and the integrity of the list mean as much to as that man right there. Mad props. Proud of you. I hope next season you continue to at least hold your own with them. Next season we will see the 959 cubic inch engine in the Street Beast. Just sit back and imagine pretty much 1,000 cubic inches in that car. I know there's other guys that do it. Kai Kelly, there's several people who has it, but it's still insane to think about. 1,000 cubic inches on the street. 4 kits of nitrous. It's going to be a beast, no doubt. The car sounds crazy. The car sounds insane. I'm going to put a small clip on the screen right now and just listen to what this car sounds like. The car sounds amazing. The car's moving. Proud for you. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing something right. You had said something about putting a Pro Charger on the car in the future. I wouldn't mind seeing it. There's no way it'll be on that engine, but I would like to see a Pro Charger hanging off the front of the Street Beast. One of the last things I want to talk about is there was a face in the crowd tonight when Pro Charger apparently had to bring some parts for Daddy Dave's Pro Charger in and put them on last minute for the race between him and Chief. Eric Bain showed his face right for a 2-second clip right after that, and I don't know if it was somebody that come down with HPP or Pro Charger to help with Daddy Dave's car, or he happened to be there, or if there's something else going on that we don't know about. But Eric Bain was there, the driver of Boosted Eagle, the white Mustang, the No Prep King, the small tire driver, big tire slaying, fast, turbo fed car. He was there. He was talking to Daddy Dave, and I hope that we see more of him or his car maybe in the future. Who knows? If you do know, send it to me. I would like to know. Drop it in the comments. Let me know why he was there if you really know. I'm going to end this video about Street Outlaws right here. Don't click off of the video yet. If there's anything that you want me to know, say, or do, send it to the email address across the screen. If you do not want it put out on the air, let me know. And if you do send me something and it does not get put out on the air, I will only put stuff out there that I find 100% credible. Every week I get emails, contradicting themselves. I'll have this guy tell me that his daddy raced with Daddy Dave this past weekend and he outrun Chief. And this guy, his uncle raced with Chief and outrun Dave. I mean, I get so many emails like that that are not credible that I can't find any truth in the email, and I'm not going to put anything out there that I can't find the least bit credible. So just putting that out there. If you're going to send me a message like that, I'm going to read them. I read all my emails, but it's not going to be put on the air. Any shout outs, anything, any information you want me to say, anything like that, I will be glad to do, because if it wasn't for you, I would not be where I'm at right now, and I will do anything I can do to help you in return. Any small business you want throw it out there, let me know. I'm not I'm not trying to charge anybody any money, just trying to help out the people who's helped me get to where I'm at today. But with that being said, I'm in the video right here. Thank you very much for watching, and Godspeed.